Alrighty, here we go. Welcome everybody, this is Cagorathe, and today I'm starting the No Deconstruct Challenge. Lag.
Emergency. Correct your trajectory. Imminent impact. Imminent impact.
Alrighty, and we're down. Welcome everybody. So, something I talked about previously was starting a No Deconstruct Challenge. Basically, the idea is, the only things that I can deconstruct are things in wrecks and things that I find out and about. Anything that I build, I cannot deconstruct. Meaning, old bases and things that I either create or have, once they're built, they have to stay. So, for example, if I were to, I don't have a build chip. If I were to throw down, say, a wind turbine right here, I have to leave it here and I can't tear it down. And the idea behind this one is it's going to kind of encourage me to build multiple bases in multiple locations and then kind of migrate as I go with the resources till I have like a final location. In this one, I might legitimately start my beginner base down here in the bottom of the basin and just let it sink essentially once we get the stuff going. And then later on, we might end up, say, at the sand falls or out in the pretty area out there. But either way, we're going to start getting some basic resources here real quick. And the idea behind this kind of a run is because I can't deconstruct anything I build, I need to be careful with how much I build and how much I scale. Because any resources that I dedicate into my structures or anything else is permanent. So like, for example, if I throw a bunch of super into like tier 4 drills, I then have to get new super for the tier 5 drills. Stuff like that. All right, we're gonna start with a backpack. We're one cobalt shy. I'm also just coming off of the tail end of being sick for like 4 days. So we'll see how I'm feeling here. Okay. Build those. We need one silicon and 2 magnesium. Also don't have a flashlight yet. There's magnesium there. Magnesium 1. Magnesium 2. And we need a silicon. Now I am allowed to deconstruct a tiny bit. Anything that's wreck related I can tear apart, but everything else I have to leave. And the reason why I did that is because a lot of the wrecks have like hidden stuff in them. And if you completely disable deconstructing altogether, like you don't even have the deconstructor chip, there are certain places in some of the ships you can't even get to, which is why we're not doing that. Okay. But yeah, so like I can deconstruct, say, the chests that I find around. I can deconstruct those for resources. But once I build, it's done. All right, let's see here. We need to establish a foothold down here. So what I'm going to do is immediately throw down like... Okay. I threw down 4 wind. And let's throw down like 4 of the little pressures. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to try and build the barest minimum of everything until we reach like critical mass on the higher tier stuff. Ooh, full inventory. Oh yeah, these guys are so slow, these little ones. Okay, so we got 4 of those and 4 of those. I won't be able to do heat until I get iridium, so that's going to be a minute. All right, I need to throw down 1 structure so I can throw down some oxygen. I'm trying to decide what the rule is going to be on that. I think on things like the lermas and stuff, I can swap out the stuff inside of those as much as I want. I just can't tear them down once they're built. Oops. That's annoying. Oh, that is really annoying, actually. Having limited storage is going to be a real pain in this, especially in the early game. Because it means like my spaghetti bases that I build at the beginning are going to be really annoying. Okay, so we should be able to throw down a living compartment and a door. Excuse me. Oops. Ice and an iron. Tier 2 oxygen, that's helpful. Wait. I did the wrong thing. I just wasted a bunch of resources. Dang it. I got all excited because I was like, yeah, oxygen, but I didn't do it at this one in here. It was this one that I was supposed to do. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna throw down one veggie tube with one lerma. So we got 4 pressures here. Do we want to dedicate more resources to that? Luckily, most of this low early game stuff uses so little power that if I build it and leave it, it's not as big of a deal. And once you get far enough away from most of those objects, they stop. They don't load anymore anyway, so you don't have to worry about that. I think realistically, I would want to start my tier 1 base down here. Once I hit tier 2, I'll probably play in the middle. And then tier 3, I'll probably play in the sand dune. Which is fun, because that's a little bit of each of the ones that I've already done. I need 1 titanium. I do want to expand this little base at least a little bit. There's some over there. We do need to find some iridium, though. The other thing that's going to be really annoying is because of that, when we start building our drills, the drills are going to be permanent. So we're going to have a lot more garbage that's going to be cycling out as well. Which isn't like a huge deal. It's just something we're going to have to pay attention to. Okay. No. Let's do it this way. We're going to go... I think I might set a rule about that too. Like if I throw something down like this and it's 1 space apart, I can tear it up and move it over 1. Like I can do little things like that. It's just there has to be a chest where I placed it, kind of a thing. Just trying to clarify that a little bit, because if I like accidentally click once and it puts something down, I'm not going to just leave it there forever, because that's really annoying, really heinous. But the main idea is just I can't do the whole, hey, I'm going to start building and then decide to change it and rip it up and remodel it later. I can't do that. And like all the basic resources have to stay. So like the drill, these wind have to stay, the pressures have to stay. I don't know if I need to expand those right away. I usually start a little bit higher on those. Okay, so this is aluminum, cobalt, iron. Oh no, there's one too few. We need 1 more chest. Need 1 additional here. Ugh, I hate that. I wish that they didn't make the rooms quite surrounded like that. I wish there was they were a little square. Make that easier. Okay, so this is iron, or this is aluminum. This one is cobalt. This one is iron. This one's magnesium, silicon, titanium. Okay. I have an oxygen and a food. I need to grab everything I can out of this, so I stop going back and forth to it. Living window. One of the few things I can deconstruct there. Okay. So we have one tier 1 veggie tube. I don't see a reason to start any more. Oh, I also need a dump chest. So we can dump that. Tier 2 backpack. Iron, silicon, titanium. Iron, silicon, titanium. Okay. Oh, there's also an exoskeletal, which I can make. Titanium, silicon, magnesium. Titanium, silicon. I don't have any magnesium. But there's one right here, so that's not too bad. Magnesium. I was 50-50 on whether to start the no deconstruct run or the random resources run. The problem is there needs to be at least a certain amount of setup for that one, just because you can literally start the game with like three of your 6 spawnable resources that are not used until late game at all, and then you can't do anything like at all. 100% of your resources just comes from chests at that point, which is doable. It's just not nearly as fun. This one's a lot more fun because I basically end up with like almost a nomadic lifestyle where I'll start here and build just like a little base, and then I'll like abandon it and move on. There we go. Get some oxygen. All right, so the question here is, do I care to put down more pressure? I could. Let's do it. Let's put down like 4 more. Uh-oh. And we'll throw down 2 more. Wind. Okay. And part of the reasoning behind having more of like a nomadic lifestyle with this is that a lot of the basic resources that we're going to be dealing with are going to deplete fairly quickly. And then we have to figure out what to do at that point. There we go. Because like once I deplete, for example, all the cobalt here to make tier 1 solar, when it's time to make tier 2 solar, I'll have to migrate somewhere else to find the resources for it, because I won't be able to tear down what I currently have. I really want to go up to the new... I really want to go up to that ship and throw down a building there and raid that building. All right. Which oxygen am I on? Tier 1? We should have tier 2, I think. Yeah, 2 magnesiums. Did we place any mags? We did. Okay. That gives us that. We also need 1 magnesium for the exoskeletal back, so we need 1 more magnesium real quick. And then I'm going to head up and build a base up at the... Ooh. I'm going to head up and build a base up there. There we go. All right, so... Oh, I need a torch. 1 magnesium, 1 silicon. Silicon, I should have some. Magnesium, I have none. Iron... Titanium. I love you. I got sick at work last week, and brought it home, and now my wife is sick, so we're both sicky poos. Which is no fun. It's no fun being sick. Alrighty. I want like 2 more something. Let's go with cobalt. Cobalt's good. We're gonna need the cobalt as soon as we hit our tier 1 solar as well. And I really think, like, with this type of playstyle or this type of playthrough, I really think I want to subdivide out with what we're doing. There we go. And what I mean by that is, like, I want each location to only have what we're talking about. So, like, cobalt, this one. So, like, for example, I don't want to build anything second tier base in this area at all. Wait, what the heck? I have two iron chests for some reason. Okay. And then dump. But yeah, so like, for example, I want this to be tier 1 stuff only. And then when we get to the tier 2, I want to have the tier 2 be tier 2 only. And then the tier 3 be tier 3 only. That way, I don't worry about, like... So like, for example, the tier 1 drills, the tier 1 heat, the tier 1 everything, I want to be at this starter base only. Oh dear. And then when it's time for other stuff, we will expand that somewhere else. Like, so I think maybe tier 1 and tier 2 like drills and stuff will end up at this base, and then tier 3 and tier 4 will be at the second base, and then tier 5 will be at the final base only. And what that means is we're going to end up scaling up only to that level from each location. And I think that's fairly wise, because then we can do like tier 1s and tier 2s across this base, and then, you know, 3s and 4s and then 5s. That way, when you get to to each of the main locations, they will be themed appropriately for where their progression is. And I think that will be a lot easier to keep track of. Oh, that's a door, not a living compartment. Let's try that again. Okay, and then I need one of these. I also need that. Agility. Let's throw down some tier 1 chests. I'm going to need like 4. I don't have enough for 4, but I'm going to need 4. My tier 1 horrific flashlight. Hey, our first aluminum. And honestly, it's things like that aluminum that is going to make me migrate. Because, like, you find aluminum at different locations, and really quick, we're going to basically run out of resources that are viable where we are. And then since we cannot recycle what we currently have, we're going to have to just deal with that. So because of that, I want to migrate. Okay. Let's unlock our chip. Speed. Dump everything. Dump everything. All right. Excuse me. Realistically, I should pop some meds. There's a thing of meds right here next to me, and I haven't taken one yet. Ooh, a chip. Okay, so we'll need to deconstruct those at some point. All right, we have enough for some heaters, which is good. And I think what's going to end up happening is we're basically just going to play the game that I always talk about, where it's like, when you get to this tier, build 10. When you get to this tier, build 10. I think that's literally what we're going to be doing for pretty much the entire playthrough. It's just going to be a lot more like visually seen that that's what we're doing, because that's what we're going to have. Luckily, all of the gear only has so many upgrades, and they reuse the old ones, so I'm not going to be wasting resources. Okay. Tally ho! What ho? A foe? Put 'em up. So while I was sick over the weekend, one of my hobbies is to take board games and card games that are not very well optimized, and like redo them and optimize them so they're better. So I spent a chunk of my weekend while I was sick doing that, and I'm pretty excited with the outcome. Like I have a game. There's a game called Conquest of Planet Earth. It's a really fun board game where basically you play as the aliens attacking Earth, and it has like 10,000 decks of cards and just a crap ton of stuff. And so like ones like that, like I took it in optimized the game. I pulled out some of the features that it had that were just semi-redundant, or that didn't necessarily affect gameplay. Like more likely than not, they would do nothing. Just removed them altogether. Kept the core mechanics, stripped down the decks to pull out all the cards that were like singles, one specific one-time uses kind of a thing. Basically trying to make it so that you don't ever waste your time with what you have, kind of a thing. So, and then made the enemies stronger and nastier. So I made the game harder, I made the game faster, chops like 45 minutes off of the playtime, you know, stuff like that. Okay, we're dang near completely full right now. But yeah, the game that I was messing with this weekend, it's one where you... the game was very specific, where it could only deal with the cards that it came with. So like its own expansion was not compatible with the base game. You either played the base game or you played the expansion. You didn't play both. So like, why is it so lit up in here? At the time of day or what? I have no idea. It is really light in here. Look how easy it is to see. That is wild. Oh yeah, it's a red hazy storm, that's why. Okay, so I got to figure out what I'm bringing back home. We want the aluminum. We probably want the iridium. I need super. I can use those two for oxygen. 4 for oxygen, that's good. You know what? Let's do this. Realistically, let's do this. What does it take for the heater? Iron, silicon, iridium. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. Organize. That's 4, that's 5. Okay. Let's dump the aluminum, dump the food, dump the seed. Basically, as many of these as I want to make is what I want to do here. So we want 4. I think we want 5 of each. Okay, we have 5 there. Could I throw a building out the back? I cannot. I built that too close to the wall. If I had built it further out the back, I could have left them in here. But we don't have the ability to do that. So, okay, so we have 5 here. We have 5 there. We have 5 there. Okay. So now, beyond that, we can take anything else we want home. So now we can grab these. Like maybe the food, for example. Okay. All right, so time to head home. Head home to the base. And the goal here is I'm going to throw down 5 tier 1 heaters. And hopefully that's enough. Actually, hang on. Heat 0.1, heat 0.3. If I throw down, for example, 8 tier 2, whoa. If I throw down 8 tier 2 drills, the pressure drills, that will give me the equivalent of 3 per. That's 3 tier 1 heaters. So maybe what we do is we hold the resources and instead we just throw down the tier 2 pressures instead. We'll see. Oh, that means I don't have space for this. All right, let's throw down a couple storages. Okay. I was gonna say I need titanium. Oh, it's 2 titanium per drill. Oh, that's annoying. Ice and magnesium. Oh, iron and magnesium are swapped. No wonder I was confused. There we go. Okay, so. Okay, we have a bunch of silicon. I mean, otherwise, what we do is we say we have to build 5 of everything across the whole game. Like, that would be something we could potentially say. But I don't particularly like being forced to throw down excess that we don't need. All right, so I want to start with our power here. 4. And then 2 silicon. Okay, we'll come over here next to these powers and throw down the next level of power. Okay. We're going to need lots of titanium for this next bit. There's all this iron. And the hard part is you always need iron in this game. Always need iron. So much iron. 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 Oh. Full inventory. Retreat. One of the hard parts is I've got like a bajillion different things I want to release all at the same time right now. Let's see. Okay. I currently have at least 3 different games recording in the background all at the same time. Or like, so far I've got 3 other games I'm recording as well. I'm doing co-op of Halo, the Halo franchise with my cousin, which is fun. And then I have a Ghost Recon Wildlands Ghost Mode playthrough going. And I've got 2 or 3 of the, I think I just finished my 3rd area, my 3rd region in Breakpoint or Wildlands Ghost Mode that is completely done. And then I have a Minecraft playthrough I want to do. The hard part is it kind of feels like I always have to have at least a it feels like either have to or should have at least one Planet Crafter playthrough going at all times, just because that's the primary game that most of my content and views have come from. So that way, if I'm like keeping all y'all's with me on board on this, that kind of makes sense, you know. All right, back to the house. Hopefully we have enough oxygen. But yeah, basically it's like I'm trying to get a ton of different playthroughs recorded all at the same time. Basically, whichever one I'm in the mood for, that's the one I'm recording at the moment. All right. All right, so we're at 2 here. Let's throw down at least 2 more. All right, and then that immediately screws our power.